Then,
Okay. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Red Pond Educational and Psychological Research Center and the Yellow Pond Counseling Center, Madurai, and also on behalf of Dr. Suresh Kumar, I welcome you all to the third day of the e-workshop on Optimism, Part 1. Thank you for taking part in this workshop. And over the past 2 days, we have been learning about what is optimism, learned optimism, qualities of optimism, grounded optimism, and optimistic skills that a kid has to possess. So today we are having another optimistic person, Dr. Veena, to deal about importance and benefits of optimism. Most of us should know about Veena. For the new people here, Veena is a homeopath and she is a consultant. Okay, she has her MSc in psychology, counseling, and psychotherapy. She has 7 years of experience as assistant professor of psychology for physiotherapy students and postgraduate students in Tamil Nadu Open University. She has participated in over 50 national and international conferences and workshops. She has presented over 20 papers and she is also the recipient of the Best Paper Awards. She is one of the advisory committee members of Meraki Therapists and Mentors. Her areas of interest are counseling, psychotherapy, family therapy, positive psychology, and psycho-oncology. To add to this, she is the recipient of the INSPA Award this year for her valuable services and contribution towards the promotion of school psychology in India. Happy to have you here, Veena. The session is yours now.
Thank you so much, and very good afternoon to you, one and all present in this session. I hope you are enjoying the optimism workshop, and I hope I will do justice for today's workshop, which is on benefits of optimism. So that's the topic I'm going to deal. Chandra, can you please share the video? See, before we share about the benefits of optimism, I just want to tell a few points or few stories so that this Sunday doesn't seem so dull. Okay, so we all know like what keeps us moving is the hope, isn't it? When you look at the human development, how we have evolved, or even how a human being is developed, it is nothing but optimism. There are millions of sperms that are there which go and try to like get fertilized with a single egg. So your spirit of fighting, your spirit of survival starts right before your inception, isn't it? So this is what keeps you moving. So this optimism is something not innate even before you're born, that is there within yourselves. So human himself is born out of optimism. So the benefits of optimism, here we go. The next slide, Chandra. So usually what happens, optimism is a attitude which gives us a ray of hope and also a confidence that predicts, yes, the future is going to be successful. The future is going to be very positive. Even in the crisis of this pandemic, the thing that kept us all moving is, yes, this pandemic, we are all going to fight it together. We are all going to overcome this together. We are all going to like follow a few social distancing or wearing the mask or whatever it is, or that fighting spirit is what kept us to fight with this pandemic. The entire world has become united to fight against this pandemic so that 2020 is gone, at least the 2021 will be bright and hopeful for the future generations, isn't it? And also we say like, you know, people who have that optimism will have positive attitude, and once you have those positive attitudes, you can make anything happen. It is with your thoughts, it is with your attitude, it is with your perspective towards life which makes going, isn't it? I don't know how many of you here understand Tamil, we have an ad that shows Nambikaida Markai. That means your hope is what is keeps your life going. The next slide, Chandra. So there were a few studies which showed like what is the relationship between optimism and also like the positive aspect or positive psychology that are the positive attributes of human life. And Segestam is one person who said like 80% of the people present are optimistic. They have some sort of hope. They have some sort of positive attitude towards life. Later, Seligman is the person who is the father of positive psychology. We must have known, and a lot has been talked in the previous sessions as well. So he has come up with this concept of positive psychology with the PERMA model, and he did a few studies on optimism, and he claimed that yes, 60% of the people are optimistic. When you look back into the history, you could see the human the human race had so much of transition. You could look back to the Itihas or Vedas or Puranas, or when you look at the histories in the recent times also, all the world wars, all the Renaissance periods, everything we had to battle. We had to like really struggle. We had to like really face lot of crisis. Even then, the human race never left its spirit. It had to move ahead. Whatever come in my way, I am going to tackle it. I am going to face it. Collectively, we will face it. Even we had to fight within ourselves. Still, we kept going. So this is one quality I say, like, which is even before we are born, that is there. And even nature gives subtle uh, messages for us about optimism. No, after every night there is a day. After every darkness there is a light, isn't it? So even the moon gives, like, the more you wane off, the more you become a new thing, isn't it? We see like the new moon, it keeps on waning, and you get the Amavasa. After Amavasa again, the new moon, it grows, it becomes fuller, and again it wanes off. Again, it's like a cycle. So even nature gives you subtle messages like, after every dark period, you have the brighter side or brighter future. So optimism is everywhere. The next slide, Chandra. So optimism has been highlighted as being an important evolutionary part of survival. Like I told you about the human race or whatever, we had to like really put up with a lot of struggle, not only with the human race but also with other species as well. When you look at the evolutionary part, the early man, he had no technology or nothing like we have now, but whatever luxuries or whatever sophistications right now we are enjoying in life, everything was invented or discovered by the early men. And it was out of necessity. Necessity is mother of invention, like we all know. Like when you need something, you keep going, you keep trying to get for that. Okay. And in his book Optimism, The Biology of Hope, Tiger argued that one of our most defining and adaptive feature is optimism. Okay, this is what keeps us going. Oh, and the next slide, Chandra. So optimism and positive outcome. Okay. So what happens when you feel good about everything? When you feel positive about, usually the outcomes will be better, isn't it? When you think good about something, when you are venturing into something, when you are thinking about to have something, when your thoughts are positive. There is a saying in English like all ends well that begins well, isn't it? Have you ever heard of that? Never heard? Huh? Once you start something on good intention or good thing, it shows that everything is going to be good, isn't it? That's the reason we're looking for auspicious days. We're looking for auspicious things to start something, because that gives us a feeling like everything is going to be good. Uh, uh, Even religious people have this faith, like we have to start something on a good omen or good thing. It has to be, the start has to be on a positive side. Okay. Because once you start something on a positive note, you feel like this is going to go ahead with a positive note, and it's going to give us the expected results, or that will be helping us to work towards that goal. Okay. Optimism also has increased life expectancy. I mean, it has a lot of physical impact. I mean, it has an impact on our physical side, on our emotional side, and also on our social domain as well. When you look at the physical aspects, optimism has a huge impact on our general health, and on our day-to-day activities. It helps to have a good and disciplined lifestyle. You know, nowadays most of the diseases are due to uh, no, disorders in lifestyle, because we don't stick on to proper nutrition, we don't have a disciplined lifestyle, we don't have proper sleep, we don't indulge in physical activities. That's the reason there is high rise of increase in disorders that are pertaining to lifestyle. Okay, once your circadian rhythm is altered, it will be having a huge impact on various systems, starting from your cardiovascular system. It has a huge impact. You'll be there is increased stress level. There is increased rise in non-communicable diseases. I mean, due to the stress levels, there will be high rise in your blood pressure. There will be high rise in diabetic cases as well, and also the lifestyle. Recent days you could see there is high rise in the incidences of cancers as well, because of taking too much of junk food, too much of processed food, too much of substance abuse, leading to all these disorders. But people with optimism tend to indulge in these activities very low. They will be having a disciplined lifestyle that will really give them a focus to their life. They will be focused on their goals. Optimism will help individuals to set goals in life, and they will be working towards them. So they will be having a systematic lifestyle. So once you have a systematic lifestyle, what happens? You will be having a disciplined lifestyle. So that will be affecting your, it will be projecting as a good health. So you will be having increased life expectancy, your general health is also good, and also you will be having better mental health. See, when you have a systematic lifestyle, you will be having your eating habits or your sleep patterns and everything very regularized. Okay, and sleep is one thing which will have a huge, okay, if your sleep hygiene is not good, that will be really affecting with your thought process, I mean with your cognition, with your emotion, as well as your behavior. So people with optimism will know how to regulate their daily activities, so your physical health is maintained, and also your mental health, they are always interdependent, because you all know, like according to WHO, the health is defined as the balance between your physical health, your mental health, your social life, and also your spiritual life. Okay, so these four domains are, when they are in equilibrium, then the individual is said to be healthy. So even one domain is not proper, that will be affecting the other three domains. Okay, so optimism is one thing which will help you to have a balance thing with all the domains of your health. Okay, and also optimism will be helping you to have a greater recovery rate. Okay, if you are having any sort of operations, see, life is always unpredictable, isn't it? what will happen to you the next 5 minutes, we don't know. There are people who will be like just talking to their friends and suddenly they will be collapsing. You can't just predict what life is. No one knows what is going to happen tomorrow. Can anyone predict? But we always have that hope. Okay, we are going to stay for another so many years, and we invest. No, we try to invest in things. We try to plan for the future. So how does all this thing happen? Because we have the hope, or we have a thinking like, yes, I am going to stay alive for so much of time, but we don't know whether we are going to live or not. But the small hope is what keeps us moving, keeps us plan for our future. Not only plan for our future, we'll be planning for the coming generations as well. We try to invest on our kids. We try to have plans for our kids, what they have to take, what they have to study, how their life has to be. So this optimism is one thing which will give you like to plan and execute your life as well as your loved ones also. So never you will think like something bad is going to happen. This I am speaking on a larger scale. On a larger scale, no one will be thinking negative. Yes or no? Everyone will be very optimistic. Everyone will be thinking on a positive note that everything good is going to happen. Ella nallade nadakkum. This is what usually we tend to say, isn't it? I'm going to invest so and so much of amount in this business, or here I'm going to invest this much of amount. So I'm going to get this much of return. So always there will be a positive note. No one will be saying like I'm going to get cheated, or someone is going to cheat me on my money. No one will. So always we will be having a optimistic thinking to go ahead, to move ahead, isn't it? Unless we have some sort of abnormality, or unless there is some sort of psychopathology, we always tend to think in a positive note. Okay, and also it helps us to have better coping strategies whenever there is any adversity or anything. Also, uh, even in this crisis, also what happens, everyone know like if you don't follow the social distancing, or if you don't follow the preventive measures, you will be getting affected with corona. And there are people who have like really lost their loved ones due to this pandemic, isn't it? But still people do survive, isn't it? People are coming out of their homes, people are doing their job, people are no indulging in their day-to-day activities. Yes or no? So so they think like, okay, everything is going to get back to normal. Everything they will get the vaccine, they will get the medicines, something. So this optimism is one thing which will be helping you to have better coping mechanisms as well. Okay, nallade nadakkum அப்படின்ற, that sort of thinking you will be having. And also optimism is one thing whenever you are having any sort of prolonged disease. For example, if you have a parent, or if you have a person in your home who is having a prolonged disease, like who is suffering with cancer or stroke or paralysis, there are incidences, isn't it? There might be people who are having, and if you are a caretaker, no, what will you think? Will you think, okay, this man has to die, or this person has to die, so that the burden is lifted on me? We'll never think like that. Though it is painful, though it is no physically, we have lot of strain, and emotionally also it will be a lot of strain for us to look them suffer. Still, we have that hope, like, okay, till no his time, let me whatever way, in whatever way possible, let me help him to overcome. So we still have that ray of hope, keeps us going. There will be people who are on ventilation as well, and the doctors will come and say, these are the chances, these are the probabilities. That time also you'll be having a mind like, let me see, let me try. I don't want to lose my loved one. let me take a chance. You'll be always, even at the time of crisis also, sometimes you'll be always thinking about the positive note. What if I agree them to be on ventilator for 1 or 2 days? Maybe some miracles might happen. Maybe probably the prognosis would not be that bad. Probably the prognosis will be good. They might recover. All these things, whenever any person is having prolonged illness also, this optimism will always be giving you a ray of hope, like the future is going to be better. The next thing, and one more thing is, when you take all the chances, and even though you lose your loved one, you will have that self satisfaction that you have done whatever you could do within your possibility. This thing, whatever you could give, whatever best you could give to that loved person, you have given, and there are certain things which are beyond your hands. So you will have that self satisfaction, and we get to the real benefits of optimism. Chandra, can we have the next slide? So benefits of optimism are, like I told you, better health outcomes. So a meta-analysis have shown that people with optimism had better chances to overcome cardiovascular diseases, cancer, pain, physical symptoms, and mortality as well. Okay. The next slide, Chandra. So better mental health. Like I told you, optimism, when you feel good about yourself, like we all have positive emotions as well as negative emotions. It's okay to have both the emotions, but positive emotions, when you know how to see, any person should know how to acknowledge their emotions and to channelize their emotions. And moreover, when the positive emotions are, when a person is subjected to positive emotions, or the person is feeling positive about himself, there are certain neurotransmitters that are secreted in the body which will like really help them. Those hormones are known as happy hormones. We know, like the serotonin, the oxytocin, or the dopamine for some extent. These are all your happy hormones which will really make you feel better about yourself, and these hormones will have a huge impact on your cognition as well. Okay, so they will help you to like there will be a huge impact on the prefrontal cortex also, which is the decision making side also. So what happens, even at times of crisis also, whenever these levels of serotonin or dopamine, they are increased, definitely that will be affecting your prefrontal cortex as well, and also that will be helping you to take up crucial decisions in your life. And one more thing is, this will be having a huge impact on your stress hormone, that is the cortisol. Okay, cortisol is your stress hormone. People who are optimistic and who have these happy hormones secreted in a higher levels, we know how to combat with your stress levels as well. Okay, and researchers also suggest that teaching learned optimism, you might have learned about learned optimism in the previous sessions. They help you to reduce the levels of depression. So depression, like I told you, the happy hormones, serotonin, melatonin, and dopamine, these will really keep your depression levels also. I mean, when these levels of these happy hormones come down, then only the person is like subjected to depression. I mean, you will know like the person is under depression. So optimism helps you to balance these hormones in your body, in your body system. The next slide, Chandra. Okay, higher motivation. Becoming more optimism can help you maintain motivation while pursuing goals. Okay, and also, like I told you, it will help you to maintain a balanced lifestyle. Okay, so nowadays, because of the lifestyles, you see a lot of people are obese. They are tackling with lot of overweight problems, isn't it? And everyone is like, beyond, I have to lose weight, I have to, like, cut short my body weight, all these things. So optimism is one thing which will keep you motivated to stick on to your goals. And also optimism, on the other hand, are more likely to focus on positive changes that they make, will help them reach their goals. Okay, so optimism is one thing which will help you to set goals in your life and also focus working towards your goals. See here, instead of like telling you in a very classroom sort of thing, I just want to share a story with you, like about this motivation and optimism. Once what happened is, are you all okay with the story? Already you're sleeping.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the story is like, once what happened is, Gautam Buddha, you all know Gautama Buddha, isn't it? So once Gautam Buddha was traveling with his disciples, okay, so it is like that, they travel, they teach about their, the teachings of Buddha. Then what happens, for 3 days they will be taking rest in some village. So this is how their lifestyle is like. So once what happened, they get to a remote village, and they have to stay in someone's place for 3 days. That is their rest time. So for 3 days they will be resting. They will be preparing for the next travel. So in those days, they didn't have bullet trains or aeroplanes and all these things. They had to walk. So 3 days they used to rest at some place. So among Gautam Buddha, there was one disciple named as Ananda. Okay, so in that village, it's a very remote village, and people are not so rich or anything, so that one person can give shelter to all the disciples and Gautam Buddha. So each one was invited by a particular person. Okay, so among that, Ananda was invited by a prostitute. And Ananda said to the prostitute, like, I have to ask my guru, Gautama Buddha, then I will tell you whether I can stay in your place or not. So the prostitute asked, oh, you have to ask your guru, then only you will come and say. He said, it's not like that. I have to take his permission and come and stay. It is not that I have to tell to my guru where I am going to stay. So once Ananda said to Buddha that a prostitute has invited me to stay in her place, so shall I go? I mean, he says, she invited me. Then the other disciples started to say, how can you allow him? We are monks. We have no, a spiritual lifestyle. How can you allow him? Then Buddha just smiled and said, when that lady is inviting you with so much of affection, you can't, like, break her heart, just go and stay. So Ananda stays there, accepts the invitation, goes and stays. So all the other disciples become a little bit, why Buddha has agreed for Ananda to stay there, and they started to, like, a sort of investigative officers, and they were started to see, like, what is happening there. Each day they used to, like, spy on them. So the first day happened, like, Ananda and the prostitute started to sing the whole day. So that was the first day. And the second day, what happened? Ananda and the prostitute started to dance. The whole day they used to dance. So these other disciples got agitated, and they said, how can a monk dance with a prostitute? How can he do this? What is this? Why Buddha is not interfering? All these things. The third day, what happens? The Ananda and the prostitute, they start to sing and dance, and the whole day they, they enjoyed. They started to, like, really have their time, like, with singing, with dancing, with joy, everything. Other disciples, their irritation and frustration was in peak rates. And 3 days, after 3 days, Ananda comes. He comes with a monk. And when Buddha sees and says, when I was sending to Ananda to that prostitute, I know what would happen. This is what happened. See, always think good about what happens. Okay. See, I knew like Ananda has the power to change the prostitute into a monk. I knew that's the reason I have sent Ananda to that place. Now I am wholeheartedly embracing a female monk into our this thing, group. So this is what when you know about what you are doing, whether what you are doing is right, nothing will stop you. And optimism is one thing that gives you that high motivation. Okay. So it will really give you a clear cut picture about what you are going to do and what are your goals, how you have to work for your goals, and how you could like really control all the or senses. Okay, whatever senses you have, how you could control your emotions, how you could channelize your emotions, how you could like have a curb on your instincts as well. So optimism is one thing. Okay? The next slide, Chandra. So longer lifespan. So people who have optimistic thoughts will be happy. Once you are happy, you will always have reduced stress levels, and that keeps you keep moving, isn't it? If you could look at Japan, most of the people they will be leading a simple lifestyle. If you look at, they'll be having very disciplined lifestyle, and if you could look at their lifespan, most of them live beyond 100 years. So when we look at what is the reason they are having, they have a systematic lifestyle, they have simple expectations, and they have this very disciplined lifestyle, and also they were very optimistic about their life. And Japan is one place where the earthquakes are more, isn't it? They really don't know what might happen the next moment. Still they have that disciplined lifestyle. Okay, it's all because of optimism. The next slide, Jen. Like I told you, I told a lot about how the stress levels are decreased. Optimism not only experience less stress, but also it helps to cope with stress levels. Okay, and also they focus on making positive changes that will improve your lives. Like I told you, the cortisol levels will be low. Okay, cortisols. If you could have attended the other classes, you might have known like cortisol is one which will be having a huge impact on your kidneys. In kidneys there will be a renin and neurotransmitter which will be having a that will influence your blood pressure. uh, I don't want to get to more medical terms and everything. This is the cycle. Okay, so optimism will always check your stress hormone levels and keep you happy. Okay. The next one, benefits or optimism. Optimism gives a reason for living. I told you, no, nambikaida vaazhkai. Okay, so optimism is always one thing which will give you a hope. It will, whatever it is, I have to really move on. Whether I move, whether I walk, or whether I crawl, I'm not going to give up. I am going to just move on. Okay, optimism reduces your stress that is experienced. The next slide, Chandra. Research shows that optimism increases longevity. Better lifestyle, disciplined lifestyle always keeps you live longer. And also it enables us to handle and put our emotions in check. Like I told you, it will help you to acknowledge your emotions and channelize your emotions. And also it promotes happiness because of the neurotransmitters that are secreted in your body. The next slide, Chandra. And also optimism is one thing which will really help you to improve your bonding with others. That will give no you it will make you more sociable. It will really that is one thing which will like help you others look up to you. When you are an optimistic person, people always look up to you for some sort of help, or for some sort of suggestions, or for some sort of guidance. If anything is there, if any crisis is there in an organization, the first and foremost person whom they will approach is a person with positive spirit. Yes or no? If you know that your boss is an optimistic person, and he can take anything, and he knows how to like overcome crisis, definitely you will have that approachability. You will go and talk to your boss and say, boss, this is so and so thing that has happened, what can we do? And that person then who helps others, no, will always earn that respect, isn't it? No? And also the integrity part is very much important in an organization. uh, when you have cordial relationships and everything, the integrity of the organization. So optimism is one thing which will help you to balance, no, the integrity and also the relationships. And optimism enhances various coping skills. Like I told you, come what may, whatever comes, I am there to very much prepared to face this. I am there to face this challenge. No? The next one, Chandra. Next slide. Yeah, it creates the before one. Yes, the next one. Yes. So, optimism is one thing which will give you a sense of fulfillment. ஒரு நிறைவு அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. When you achieve something, when you do good for someone, when you feel that you had a meaning and purpose in your life, that will give you a sense of containment. You feel very happy. Okay. Um, uh, this story I have to really want to share. Like during the crisis or warfare in the Syria, what happened is there was a reporter who met a small girl. Okay, and the girl was like very shabby. It looked so pale, very dreadful. So the reporter had a piece of bread, and he shared the piece of bread with that small girl. The moment she got the bread, what she did was she split it into two half and gave one half to the reporter. See, the girl didn't have food for we don't know how many days. Still, even in that time, she knew the pain of hunger. Okay, and whatever was there with her, she wanted to share. So that is what people who have that hope, people who have that positivity, people who are optimistic will definitely know how to like get connected to the higher self. She is just a child, and she had that only ray of hope of surviving. So your surviving will teach you a lot of things. So this is one example. This is just one example. Don't know how many examples are there in the world. So, so always looking around. You will have the messages in a very subtle manners. Okay. So optimism also forges persistent, which is an essential trait required for achieving success. Okay. What it means is, people, when you start something, don't give up. It's always there that you will always have some sort of obstacle, some sort of setback, some sort of fall downs. Okay. But what makes you more strong is the tendency to not give up and going ahead. Okay. As a child, you know, once you are born and you start walking, how many of you really like run? We always fall down, we pick ourselves, then we start moving, isn't it? Always we fall down, then we get up and we start moving. Okay. It is anytime you fall down 7 times, The eighth time you get up and you start moving, that shows your strength. And people who are optimistic are prepared to fall any number of times and get up and move ahead. Okay, it creates a sense of fulfillment and satisfaction to you. Okay, whatever it is, whatever comes in life, I am prepared to face it. Okay, that sort of resilience, that sort of power you will have within yourselves. And optimism promotes healthy living. All what I have talked leads to your disciplined, healthy lifestyle. And also, it creates a positive anticipation of the future. So, like I told you, we never know what will happen to us. Still, in spite of that, we always look forward, isn't it? We always look forward, like what I have to do. New Year is going to come, what I have to wear, whom I have to invite, how I am going to meet my friends, what are the things I have to plan for the new year. This is what we always tend to think, isn't it? Optimism increases our level of productivity, isn't it? When you are focused on what you are like, you want to do, you will always look in how you could become successful. Okay? The next slide, Chandra. Optimism allows us to deal with failure constructively. Like I told you, you fall down, you get back, and you start moving. This is how optimism will drive you. It will be highly motivating you to keep going. Okay. So, whatever failures are there, each failure you take it as a stepping stone. Okay. Each failure you make a step for yourself. You right royally climb on those steps and grab your success. So, optimism is that one thing that will drive you. Okay. And also, it will help you to attribute, to develop the patience. Sometimes, how you really wait for things to happen. It is how you react and how patiently you wait for your success. But I always, whenever I take any sessions, I always tell about the metamorphosis of butterfly. Okay, there is a period in the life cycle of butterfly where the early stage of the caterpillar is so destructive, keeps on like munching all the leaves, chapak, chapak, chapak. So it is so destructive. And the next stage, no one knows where it goes. Okay, it will just withdraw itself and it goes to a sleep. Okay, the pupal stage. It makes a cocoon. What happens? Nothing. No one knows. But it's not that. But it is like going through a process. It doesn't mean it's a setback or it doesn't mean that it has given up. It is subjecting itself to a beautiful process. And once it is fully grown, it will break the cocoon and come out with flying colors so beautifully, isn't it? So sometimes you really need to subject yourself to a process. Sometimes the times will be very testing for you. It doesn't mean that is a bad experience or something. That is a process for you to develop yourself. To it's not like you. The growth is only in physical domain. Okay, you can't have it only like you have grown like in your height or in your weight or in your size, whatever it is. Sometimes even your psychological factors have to evolve, and this process is one thing which will make you mature, more mature. Okay, so mentally more mature. And optimism is one thing which will really help you to undergo this process of transformation. And also, optimism makes us proactive. There will be people who can't sit idle. Okay, they keep on doing things. One example is our Suresh sir. I never saw him, sitting idle. He keeps on doing sessions, workshops, and also he involves people. He really knows how to involve others as well. So he is always, people who are optimistic are always proactive. They want something. It's not about their self. It is something beyond that, how they could like help others as well. No? Growing as a person and making others grow along with me. So there is a lot of difference with that. Okay. So people with optimism will always be proactive and always will have a sense of thinking like how I could help others also grow along with me. Okay. And optimism improves our physiological and sociological, psychological well-being. I've talked a lot about that. The next slide, Chandra. It enables us to take a balanced approach to life by dealing with constant negative thoughts which spring up. Okay, what happens? People with optimism, see, we always have any sort of one triggering moment, and also the thought will make us to behave in a particular manner. Okay, people with negative thoughts, they will be subjecting themselves to cognitive distortion. So people with optimism, they will always tend to challenge their feelings, tend to challenge their cognitive distortions. Okay, these cognitive distortions could be personalized, persistent, or pervasive, sort of. So people who are optimistic, they tend to challenge their thoughts, and if ever they have these negative thoughts, they will learn to cope with them, and also to like how to overcome these negative thoughts and remove these negative thoughts and place more positive thoughts. Okay, people who are optimistic will always tend to work on their negative thoughts. Okay, like the CBT model itself. There are people, whenever something happens, if some incident happens, they will tend to judge themselves. I am fit for nothing. I can't do better. That's the reason people don't like me. People will not invite me. People will regard me that I am useless. So these sorts of any pessimistic people will be thinking like that. But person with optimistic thoughts, he says, okay, this is some sort of bad experience. What can I learn from this? So what is it I have to learn? Okay, next time I have to be careful not to repeat the same mistake. So I did this which went wrong. So what is it I can mend, or how I can rectify this behavior so that I don't commit the same mistake? So optimistic people always look beyond the incident. They look like how they could make things positive. They learn from their mistakes and move beyond that. Okay, they don't get stuck in that situation. Also, optimism gives us peace of mind when everything is going very smooth, when everything is on a positive note. Definitely, you will have peace of mind. When you have that peace of mind, you will have good sleep as well. The next lecture. And optimism enables to generate an alternative and more helpful explanation of various difficulties experienced. Like I told you, whatever is the crisis in your life, okay, it makes you keep moving with a ray of hope. Um, like I told you, optimism ensures us believe in us. 2020, a great Abdul Kalam sir told like always dream, okay, and try to work how to fulfill your dreams. Dream, but you have to work to fulfill your dreams, isn't it? So always have that hope that good is going to happen, and always work towards that. The next slide, Chandra. Yeah, it increases our tolerance level because it lowers the risk of being irritated by little things. Okay? People who are optimistic, like I told you, when something happens, also they will not look at the small like picture, like oh my God, because of you this happened, because of that this happened. They think okay, if something happens, also okay, it's a mistake. Let's move on. It's okay. So they will have that tolerance level. Okay? The next one, Sandra. It allows us to help the habit of being thankful. So gratitude, gratitude is one thing. I mean, all these things are interrelated in positive psychology: the optimism, the happiness, the gratitude. all these things. You see, whenever you are optimistic, you have the ray of hope, and you always feel good about others. When you feel good about others, you will always think to thank them, or feel grateful about what you are having, what people did to you. All these things on a positive note. Whenever you have that positive thought, positive as perspective towards life, definitely you will be grateful for other things. So optimism, it increases your gratitude level, and like I told you, gratitude will increase your happiness. Happiness will increase the productivity. Productivity will have a huge impact on your skills. Mastery, and mastery is one which gives identity of you to this world. Okay? And optimism promotes laughter. Yes or no? Huh? Even at times of crisis, there are people who make fun, isn't it? In a positive manner, I'm saying, not in a ridiculing manner also. We all know, even in this lockdown period, on a Sunday, we are having a session, no? We tend to share things where the other person also feels happy about it, have some sort of fun, laughter, meeting people, getting to know about them, sort of. This is like, okay, we have to do something good. This is also a way of being optimistic. Okay? Optimism doesn't give any room for self denial. Like I told you, it will help you to accept a person for what he is. Okay, when you are mentally very strong, no, definitely you will have, and also it welcomes any form of constructive change, and also any sort of criticism. Optimism will help you to uh, face any sort of criticism, be it constructive criticism or anything. It will not make you to break down. It will really help you to be together and face it. And optimism creates positive expectations as well. The next slide, Chandra. Yeah, it sets our mood and also promotes positive relationships. Whenever you're happy, what does you need? You will have good relationship with others, isn't it? When you are happy, if no, your spouse makes any mistakes, also you tend to overlook that, okay? But when you are in a bad mood, okay, that's it. That's it. So people who are optimistic always tend to like forgive others. Okay, won't you? பரவாயில்ல அடுத்த வாட்டி பார்த்துக்கிறேன். Sort of when your mood are related, when your mood is very happy, joyful, it is very contagious, no? So you tend to forget others for their wrongdoings also. Like I told you, optimism builds resilience in face of adversity. The next one, yeah, self-confidence and self-esteem, it really helps to promote our self-confidence and self-esteem, and also help us to undergo the process of transformation, and also it ensures us to always stay focused on what we want. It promotes bonding between individuals, yes, not only with individuals, with other people, like-minded people as well. It will help us to really move in circles of our, people with like mind, who have the same similar thoughts. People who have the same thoughts, they all tend to become a group. Optimism is one thing which will really make you very sociable. And optimism promotes forgiveness. I've spoken a lot about this forgiveness. The next one, it enhances effective communication. So when you are when you feel good about anything, okay, whatever the stage is, you will really rock. And one incident is, suddenly I'm asked to take the session on benefits of optimism. Okay, unless I don't have that optimism, I couldn't have taken this session so far. So be it any stage, okay, when you are optimistic that you are going to give your best, you will definitely give your best. Okay, and definitely it shows in the way you communicate with others, isn't it? Next one, Chandra. Like I told you, 4 domains of health. So optimism is one which will help you to develop your spiritual side as well. See, optimism is one thing, like I told you, which will increase your gratitude. Okay, gratitude will show what compassion and empathy are. Okay, and compassion and empathy are like the two keys to open the doors of abundance. Okay, we all want to get connected to the higher self. No? Yes or no? One or the other type. See, when you are in your 20s or 30s or 40s, it is always with the responsibility about your family and everything. Once you get everyone settled, once everything is there, you will really think like, no, my purpose of life is not to tend to the responsibilities or needs of my family. I am made for much more than this. You tend to start realizing when you are in your, once you get your children settled and everything, you will have time for yourself. Then you start introspecting, like, what is it that I really wanted in my life? What is the purpose of my life? So better late than never. Start realizing like what you could do in whatever way you could really transfer. Not transfer, change life, or no get that smile on others. Okay, how you could be responsible for a positive change in others. Okay, so optimistic people will really work on these things. Like I told you, it's not about their self-development or their self-well-being. It is about to enhance the relationships, not only with the family members, but with the human race as well. So this is your spiritual aspect. Okay. And also optimism gives room for self-expression. So you will feel confident, you have that self-esteem, you know what you are doing, you know what you want in your life. You will definitely try to express it up. Okay. And also it increases your mental flexibility. Obviously, you will know how to cope with crisis. You will know how to have that psychological well-being. And optimism is therapeutic, like I told you. It is very contagious. You see positive people, you get inspired by them. You want to follow them, isn't it? You get a highly motivational speech you hear from other people, be it Sadhguru, be it religious persons, whatever it is. You read something that is highly motivating. It will really be inspiring you, isn't it? And that will really elevate your moods. So you feel a little bit, not a little bit, you feel so powerful. The moment you get inspired, you feel as if you are Marvel's Avenger. You just want to uh, fight all the bad in the world. You feel like a superhero figure, sort of. And optimism is so therapeutic, it will make you feel good about yourself. The next slide. It improves your social life. Yeah, definitely. So, enhancing your relations and everything. And there are trainings that will really teach you how to improve your learned optimism. And those studies have shown like the help to cope with your depression levels. And also people who have received training in learned optimism and anti-depression skills, they're half as likely to develop such symptoms of depression. So this optimism will really help you to tackle with your low moods. Okay, so that's the benefits of optimism. So we conclude, and this is the person who is behind all the optimism and sudden surprises. I hope I did justice for today's session. So if you have any questions, kindly ask.
Thank you, Veena. Thank you for a very thoughtful and flowing presentation. Now it's time for discussion. Any questions or any feedback or any contributions? And we have our dear Dr. Srinivasan sir there. Maybe we would like to hear some from you, sir. Can you please talk a few words on optimism, sir?
That's a wonderful session. I was really amazed that so many benefits could be assembled to start with. So each one can be expanded into probably a concept by itself. So, like, it's highly impressive about how beneficial the optimism is. So, if I have to remember from old session, then it's 1,000 yellow roses to Dr. Veena. Thank you.
You have made my day, sir.
I missed having some yellow roses from you yesterday, sir.
Yellow roses?
I missed having some from you yesterday.
Okay, thank you. It was really very, very exciting. Only today I could attend the full session because it's a Sunday. Other two sessions, one session I attended, the other second session I couldn't make it because of my work pressure. So today, really, it was amazing. Like the benefits of optimism itself could be like talk for an hour. So I'm looking for more sessions about the exercises and other things where we can really improve the optimism.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Do the participants want to say something about today's session, or you have any questions?
That was a wonderful session, Veena. I just wanted to add on, it will be nice in future sessions if we have more of activities which we could practically use in terms of promoting optimism and start using optimism. That would really be beneficial, where we could actually practice what we are learning as well.
Yes. Definitely, as this workshop is like it is initiated to develop what to say the optimism in first we have to really know what optimism is all about and the benefits, and slowly we will be working like how you could improve your optimism. So we are taking it up in a stepwise manner. So definitely we will be sending you worksheets, and also I think the coordinator Chandra will be sending you the assignments as well. So be very optimistic about your worksheets and assignments, and
Veena, we do have part 2 of this optimism workshop that's coming up in the next week on the 26th and 27th, where we are going to learn about the strategies, the measurements, and more stuff like activities. Yes. So for Priya, we hope the best days to come. Anyone else who wants to talk about this?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Today's session was very, very nice, ma'am. Actually, I think the optimistic people are connected by nature. I want to say like that, the sentence, because you are giving so many positive ideas to become myself as an optimistic person. So by attending such type of sessions, that gives me to react optimistically in all the situations. That is the main thing. It increases my tolerance effect, my tolerance habit. So it is very, very, very useful and very nice words that gives some energy to be an optimistic person. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Hello, good evening. Shall I speak?
Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
You're most welcome.
I am Visakha Parvati. I am a patient of Dr. Srinivasan sir, and I'm very much thankful to him that he has given us this opportunity to attend this. And actually, I want to thank Dr. Veena, whose session was extremely nice, and I gained so much of information. And Chandra, Dr. Chandra, yesterday's session, that was too much nice. And I really enjoyed and gained so much from the session. I wanted to speak yesterday, but the thing was I was in the bank counter. I'm in a bank working for Indian Overseas Bank. So I was in the counter. Actually, I was not able to. I felt very bad about this timing that I cannot go attend this section. Okay, my bank time is from 10 to 5. So I was really missing it. And when doctor said it will be very much useful if many attend, so I had a opportunity. Actually, I took it as an opportunity. I thought, what shall I do? I planned, and then I thought up to 4 only I have counter hours. So from 4 to 5, it will be our time working inside. So I already planned it, and I requested my colleagues to let me free for some time. And I was attending, sitting in the counter with some work. I was opening accounts, opening my accounts, for customers. So I could not speak yesterday, though I wanted to speak. And another thing, named Deepika Anjali, she is my daughter. She is also working for State Bank of India from Chennai. She attended. I said it will be very useful, and she normally enjoys attending this. She's 26 years old. So she's interested and she's attending it. Even she could not put on the video and speak yesterday. Okay, actually, a lot of things I learned. I hope for many years, from childhood, so many years, I was so optimistic. And somewhere in the livelihood, few years before, I have lost some of the traits of optimism, I feel, due to some surroundings and social this thing. But after coming to doctor, I have learned so many things. I got everything practice. He has given us so much training about gratitude. His first exercise was appreciation given to us, appreciating 5 people daily. So it's all going on. We have a gratitude jar suggested by him. We are practicing everything, and it's so nice talking to optimistic people. Actually, Sunday we will be sitting watching on TV or something like that. And yesterday evening, I'm attending everything, every session of yours for the past 2 days. I am attending, and it's very nice. Looking for more sessions, and I'm interested in attending to all this. Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for giving such a beautiful explanation of optimism. What else we need? Our
Thank you.
session is successful with people. This is the live example. You just wanted to attend the program and you were very optimistic about it. You have created that bonding with your colleagues, took help. No, this is what is all about. That's the reason I tell you, life always gives you the messages in a very subtle manner. It is we who have to be very observant always. We always keep ourselves busy and miss all those signals that are given to us. So what more we need? Thank you so much.
Thank you. And another thing, you asked for doubts, I actually was about to ask doubt. Though I am optimistic and doctor is guiding us, some people around us are pessimistic, and we are influenced by them or pressurized by them to lead some traits of optimism. So when that things happen, how can I overcome that and how can I change them? But now I got the answer from your session itself. Dr. Veena said about the story of Buddha, monk, and the prostitute, and I think that will suit here. When the prostitute can be changed to monk, the people around me can be changed to optimistic. So I'm really happy for the answer which I had at. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vishaka ma'am, for your nice comments and nice words about us. Personally, I see you as a truly optimistic person because you have broken the barriers, and all about optimism is it is possible, and you have made it possible to attend the sessions, and you're trying the best out of you to create nicer things for yourself, and also you're thinking about improving other people around you. I can see all the developmental things that are happening around you. Please stay the same, and please also try to help the people with optimism as much you can. Thank you for your nice words.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Ma'am, one thing I want to share, ma'am. Yesterday, I went to a State Bank branch in my district, ma'am. The most of the people working in the State Bank, they are not optimistic. I am so happy that Vishaka ma'am is here, having that attitude, optimistic attitude. Really, I am so happy. God only gives me this opportunity, because yesterday I was frustrated most of the time. They are not ready to attend the customers in a nice mood, ma'am. So, if we are going to deposit the money, they can attend it. If you borrow the large amount from the bank, means they are never attended. They never attended the customers. So, I think I came to my house, and then I self-optimized myself, and that on seeing such people attending this type of sessions may change the nature of the State Bank. I think so in our state. Thank you, Vishaka ma'am.
Thank you.
More we wait to hear, or should we wind up?
Hello. Good evening, all.
Yes, ma'am. Please go.
I'm Shiny. Yesterday I spoke to you all. Veena ma'am, thank you so much for the wonderful presentation. Your charming smile, you are really inspiring everyone, you know. And what a peculiarity I felt in this is a kind of we feeling what I felt in this workshop. That's what we may be attending many of them. That positivity, that spread of positivity that we could find, that is about what Chandra ma'am, then about Suresh sir, everyone is working together, and we feel a kind of warmth here. That is what. And yesterday's and today's session I attended, and it's all what through 4 or 5 years our sir is training through all these aspects, that we could realize it. He's not telling like it should be like this, and this is the like characteristics of optimistic people, or what is this is the outcome of what you all talk. But it was like a flowing river. It could acquire in all of us, like some of the patients we have here. So it's a great experience, and we are so much grateful to you all. And yesterday, ma'am, I tried about what you talked about yesterday. Chandra ma'am told about that scorecard, about disaster scorecard. You know, today morning, I have 2 sons, and they were quarreling. Always they quarrel and just complain to me about it. Simply, I just listen to them. Sometimes I'll be with both of them talking, and they're quarreling like a head. So I told the elder one, you know, okay, I will tell something. If you have a card like score like 1 to 10, where your anger stands, you just tell me. So at that time, you know, he understood that it's just like 9 or 10, but he told no, it's just 1, and smiled off. At that time itself, that anger has dissolved like anything. So it works wonders, ma'am. And I told about the turtle's behavior, then everything, you know. I told you, please remember about that, what is it, signal. So I told we both will reduce our anger. Like if you feel that I'm getting angry, you please tell, stop, red. Then we'll just think ahead, and we'll work on it. So they were agreeing about it. So it works well, wonders. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Shani ma'am. Thank you so much.
Veena, we were actually talking about the disaster meter for kids yesterday, when we were talking about the skills, the essential skills that the kids has to possess, you know, the optimal skills. We are talking about the disaster meter. Every child could have a score chart from 1 to 10. And I'm happy that, say hi, Karan. I'm happy that she has used it, and it is going to be useful for many mothers. We are very grateful for that. Thank you. So anything more? We are waiting to hear.
Hi, Kavin.
Say hi. Hi, Vinate.
Hi, Vinate.
Good.
You always know how to make my day.
Hi.
No?
Hi, Srinivas uncle.
Hi, Srinivas uncle.
Hi, Shiny Ate.
Hi, Harriet.
Yeah, hi to everyone. Good boy. So thank you so much, Veena, for all the discussion and also the participants who have actively participated and contributed wonderful thoughts, testimonials, and also we had some nice words from Srinivasan sir. So I think this all made our day today, and I'm feeling more optimistic than usual. So this is all the positive vibes we take from each other. Optimistic people stay connected and they bond with relations. That's what is happening here. So thank you all for participating in this part 1 workshop. We will keep you communicating about the part 2 that comes as a follow-up. So I think whoever has registered for part 1 will be continuing part 2. We don't have any special formalities to do that. So we will keep you informed. Please join us, and we will get more benefited with optimism and spread love and positivity to the whole world. So thank you so much, and have a nice evening, all of you.
Yes. Have a
Thank
happy
you.
Sunday.